Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nugget 2022. I'm so excited that you're all here in my session. Thank you for coming. My name is Jena Jones, and today I'm going to be presenting on key IT trends in the retail industry and how Netreo has helped retailers nail these top trends. Before we get too into the session, let me introduce myself. So, as I said, my name is Jena, and I'm a growth executive over here at Netreo with a focus on driving global customer acquisitions and, of course, Netreo revenues. I actually have a background in technical sales in the oil and gas industry. I'm located in Houston, Texas, so those two things kind of go hand in hand. And tying into that as well, I have my Bachelor of Science from the College of Engineering at Texas A&M. All right, so let's get started. A quick agenda on what we're going to go over today. So first, we're going to talk about what defines retail and then go into the 4 key trends, Netreo's retail footprint, and then impact potential. So first, what defines retail? Over here on the right, I have the dictionary definition. So the sale of goods to the public in relatively small quantities for use or consumption rather than for resale. But we all know what really defines the retail industry is the consumer. So I have some quick points on trends we're seeing in the consumer, nothing too in-depth. So the rise in online shopping, of course, I myself have a small online shopping addiction. I'd like to receive a couple packages a week. Generation Z, so again, such as myself, is entering the workforce. We have money to spend that we did not previously have, and we are looking to spend it. Buying based off of social influence, the rise of influencers, and then balancing impatience and sustainability. So people are wanting their packages quicker, and they're also wanting everybody to have a green footprint. So it's a hard balancing game. So going into those 4 key trends, I'm going to do a quick overview, and then we can go a little more in depth on how they relate to the IT industry. So personal security, digital commerce, omnichannel retail, and the quick/impatient consumer. So first, touching on personal security. So with the well-known hack of one of our competitors in early 2020 came a much broader awareness of the risk we're taking with sharing personal data and just everything going on with that. So I was not personally in the IT industry at the time, and I myself was well aware of the hack and the repercussions that came. Data breaches such as these just continue to be top headlines, not just in the retail industry, but in every industry. It's becoming, or it has been, but keeping customer data safe is not just about securing the applications and systems that users engage with or the databases where information is stored, but it also requires all of the backend systems and infrastructure supporting customers are secure, and that includes your monitoring tools. So at the end of each of these as well, I have a fun fact. So my fun fact for this one is consumers spend an average of 8.8 hours a day engaging with digital content, which just feels like a lot. It's more than a work day. But I know personally I'm spending a lot of time on my laptop and probably even more time on my phone. So just a little fun fact for you. Going into digital commerce, I mean, with COVID-19 in 2020, I'm sure you've heard this a million times, there came a rapid push to online buying. Although many consumers were already looking to websites for purchasing options, the pandemic really accelerated the process. What was once a sometimes or particular occasion thing, I mean, due to lockdown, became an everyday new normal. This rise in digital commerce, especially following COVID-19 and the lockdown, has really driven this rapid digital transformation efforts in such a short period of time. For retailers, especially those who were traditionally brick and mortar, this required rapid moves to cloud, the creation of applications to support digital shopping and more. This, of course, resulted in very complex hybrid infrastructures that needed to be monitored 24/7 to ensure that every customer has a great experience, whether it's online or now that we're back in store. So instead of a router and switch and point of sale systems, and maybe a few other devices at each of the brick and mortar stores, IT teams are now supporting those devices plus cloud infrastructure that supports the applications that are allowing us to do our online grocery orders or our online pickup in store, online curbside, and have them delivered. So companies and consumers alike are really prioritizing the flexibility and ease for customers, and this is something that's important. I know myself, I love a user-friendly app. I love going into the store, so it's just a mixture of both. And then so my fun fact here is that consumers spent $870.78 billion dollars online in 2021, which is a lot of money. Next, going into the omnichannel retail. So here's a little personal anecdote for you. So me personally, when I want to buy something, I research the product online. Then I typically order it online. Gets delivered to my house, of course. And then when it gets delivered, I decide that I really don't need it anymore and that it was an impulse, probably 80% of the time. So I take what I bought back to the store because who really likes the post office? Return it in store. And then when I'm there, I do a quick little sweep to see if there's anything else that I may need. Oftentimes using my app to scan a barcode to save an item like to my favorites to come back later or to order it online for a different size. And this integration has just created a quicker and more essential process. So similar to the digital commerce that we just spoke on, the amount of infrastructure required to support these omni-channel experiences, like I just described, has completely exploded. Ensuring an optimal experience in every possible channel can be the difference between capturing a raving repeat customers or losing them forever. I mean, like I said, I read online reviews for literally everything. So having visibility into all of that infrastructure in one single place, simplified view, and being able to prevent problems before they reach the user, before they're impacting the user, or quickly resolving the issues when they do happen couldn't be more important and essential in the age that we're in. So my fun little fact for this is according to a study by UC Today, nearly 90% of consumers want an omnichannel experience. That doesn't convince you how important the infrastructure is for your environment. I really don't know what would. So quick commerce / impatient consumers, speaking a little of myself here with this one. I mean, we've all heard of the 2021 supply chain crisis, and so have the people who are shopping, you and me and everyone else. People want what's available and are not afraid to jump between brands to do so. The 5 to 7 day standard shipping is no longer appeasing buyers, as many retailers are shipping next or same day delivery, creating the popularity of a lot of online retailers using large warehouses in metropolitan areas, as well as outsourcing shipping for quick deliveries. Uh, this, the convenience of this, ooh, it's about to kick me off. The convenience of this is really becoming an advantage. So this is, again, similar to the 2 points that I made above. When your website is slow, your application is down, etc., that can be the difference between winning and losing revenues. People get impatient waiting for their app to constantly restart or being on the website, and the website is just not loading the pages you want to go to. We want what's going to be quicker. We're going to move to a different site that has very similar things. If I can't order my groceries or my shoes or building supplies when I want them and where I want them at the right time, then probably going to go elsewhere. So it's important to keep that in mind. And then with my last fun fact, 80% of US consumers said that convenience is core to a positive customer experience. And I know that's what we're all trying to achieve, is a positive customer experience. So you've probably gotten, to the point in this presentation where you are asking yourself, okay, cool, Jenna, thank you for all of the stories, but how does this tie into Netreo? So here we are. So first with security, I mean, uh, we are a security first company. That's a core value of ours. We are SOC 2 compliant and Veracode verified. This is something that is extremely important to Netreo. We've seen what has happened to our competitors when they're not prioritizing that, and it's something, again, that we prioritize. That is top priority. And so then going on to APM, we have Retrace to tell us how and why applications fail. It's a comprehensive yet easy to use SaaS application monitoring tool, combining the full featured APM capabilities with top tools and capabilities your IT team needs most to help eliminate bugs and performance issues before they start impacting users. As I know I'm getting repetitive at this point, but that's what you don't want, is to whenever it gets down to the point where it's impacting your user and driving them off of your website. So digital commerce, the streamlined total cost of ownership and easy admin, the fully self-contained and integrated database operating system and software in a single VM image with no separate OS maintenance. I mean, this allows for horizontal scaling for an offload or secure network. As mentioned, this allows leadership the time to focus on growing the business and customer experience rather than focusing on these tedious administrative tasks and alert fatigue and putting out little fires that are completely unnecessary. Impatient consumer. So mapping IT resources to the business that they affect, automatic detection and configuration of application groupings, user-definable impacts, simplified reporting and views. That's key here. Sometimes something that is extremely important here is the easy customizable dashboard. So you're seeing what you need to see. That enables both mapping IT resources to the business that they affect. Creating a seamless experience for both the IT team, the executives, and those that are spending the time in your store and on your website, which is most important. So moving on from this, so I wanted to include this slide to show just how broad Netreo's capabilities are and how we can support a wide variety of business models across the retail industry. So these are just some examples of some of our current customers. So a grocery chain, which I will go more in depth on later, a footwear company, so a footwear company that designs, markets, and distributes brand names. Food and supply store, a warehouse style store founded in 1871 that's based in California, but it is operating with 150 stores, expanding into Texas and Colorado. And then a building products supplier, a supplier of building materials, lumber, roofing, as well as farming equipment. There's 85 locations across 3 states, as well as an online store. So going a little deeper into the grocery chain, this is something I'm really excited about, an H-E-B deep dive. So I personally shop at H-E-B. I live in Texas, which is where it's extremely popular. It's kind of a whole following behind it. If you ever find yourself in the Southeast United States, I highly recommend stopping in one. H-E-B is a $32 billion supermarket chain with more than 420 stores and over 145,000 partners, which are their employees, across the Southeast United States. They are ranked 5th on the Forbes list of the country's largest privately owned companies based on annual revenue in 2021. So going into a little bit of their challenges, they were experiencing a few challenges coming when they came to us across their IT infrastructure. And one of these were the excess of tools for a number of different problems. They were experiencing problems over the years getting a tool for each one with no consolidated view of their environment. So this created time and money that they were spending to train their employees on how to use all of these different tools to fix all these different problems. And they were just really unconnected, spending, like, as I said, a lot of time and money to fix the system. What they really needed was a consolidated view to cut down on the costs and really allow for a more smooth scaling process as they continued to grow. So here was our solution. We replaced these services and all these expansive tools with one system with a company-wide accessible user interface, which really provided visibility into their network and application trends that allowed for process improvements. They were able to slash their training budget by 98% and cut their server and admin footprint down by 95%. So they saw an immediate and significant ROI in their implementation of Netreo in their environment. And just a fun little personal story. So when I was interviewing with Netreo, they mentioned that HEB was one of their customers and kind of explained this use case to me in this case study. And I lived in Houston during the freeze of February 2021, I believe it was, and was without power or water for an entire week. I was living in an apartment. It was really horrible. But of course, there was an HEB bias, and a lot of their stores were not open, as many stores were not, but they were able to post their hours on when they were going to be able to be open online. And we went to one and were able to get food and water for all of our family. And then when I heard that Netreo was kind of on the back end of that, supporting their infrastructure through that, I just really had a personal connection and thought it was really cool and made me really excited about the company. Not that there's not a million other things to be excited about here, but so I was excited to do this presentation as well. So here's a quote from Gartner Peer Insights. Netreo gives us so much insight into our network, which has allowed us to address so many issues we never saw before. And then to kind of wrap things up, I wanted to just give a final broader view of Netreo's impact potential in the retail space. So start with consolidate customer tools to a single source of truth, as I just touched on with HEB. That's one thing that we did for them that really is important and can cut down on the admin costs and just give you that single view of everything going on within your environment. Modernize customers monitoring and analytics platform, deliver a predictable AI ops driven solution, improve resource efficiencies and reduce operational cost, and then improve visibility and actionable insights. So these are just some higher level points on which are important to the IT infrastructure in the retail space. So thank you so much for coming to this session. I really appreciate it. And if there are any questions, feel free to drop them down in the chat box and our team will be, of course, more than happy to answer them. And again, thank you so much.
Running.